I have a film out on Netflix. It's really beautiful about motherhood and how wonderful and terrifying it is. A horror comedy, essentially. I come from an industry with a lot of rejection, so I'm very used to that. I don't take it personally.
Eileen has only been with us for 3 months, yet she's earned $2K in revenue, and following the 90-day guide to certification, she landed her certificate in, you guessed it, 90 days. We are so impressed with Eileen's commitment to her grant writing journey as a mom of 2 littles and a screenwriter and a filmmaker whose film just aired on Netflix. Yes, we talk about it. She has diligently carved out the time, put her blinders on, and committed to the deep work necessary in order to prioritize this journey. We also talked about how rejection is a part of this process and that not taking it personally can bring so much joy and ease. Meet Eileen. Eileen, I am so stoked to share your progress so far in the collective. You've been here 3 months.
I'm really excited. This is quite a treat for me.
On a scale from 1 to 10, how familiar were you with grant writing when you joined?
Really not at all. I'd say like maybe 2 or something, because I had an acquaintance who is a professional grant writer and I had a coffee with her to pick her brains. And my parents both worked in the nonprofit world, sort of like in my periphery. But with the actual skill set to like write grants, no, I had very little familiarity.
Maybe more on the grant research side than the grant writing side, but how are you feeling even 3 months in on the scale of confidence?
I'm very confident in the steps to take to create a grant funding strategy, talking to clients about what's out there. It is funny once you realize you're just scratching the surface, equal parts, I got this, and then like, oh yeah, I have so much to learn. I'm feeling confident about the funding strategy and then looking forward to getting my feet wet with the grant writing.
Anything challenging that's kind of tested you so far in this journey?
Going from the onset that I really want to have my own business. Like that's very exciting to me. Going out there and getting clients, that's such a big part of that. Once you kind of realize like with organizations, they're just such a spectrum, not only in like what they provide, but also are they brand new? Do they have any kind of capital to be able to pay for a grant writer? To those who are like such well-oiled machines and they're rocking and they don't really need you. I'm really finding that perfect unicorn client because I've talked to some amazing, beautiful, awesome organizations. I just know can't pay me. And that's just what it is.
That process of finding your type of clientele is this trial and error. We can say as many things as we want as like target here or focus here. And the reality is until you have a lot of conversations with a lot of people, you don't hone that spidey sense. Okay, this is going to work really well. And this one might not be ready yet.
Yeah, it's like a whole nother skill set.
So you earned your certificate in 90 days with a paid funding strategy client. How you followed the 90 steps in your own way.
It's funny, as a creative being, I'm also equal parts like creative and type A. I'm like, just tell me what to do, give me the thing, and I'll do it. There's so much going on the platform, so much great information. I kind of had to put on my little blinders, the hard focus, like tunnel vision about the 90 days. I reach out, warm leads. I definitely are the way to go because I did a combination of just reaching out cold to a lot of people and then also just reaching out to my network. And so my best friend in the whole world in a totally different field, she had spent some time in New Orleans after Katrina and had built some relationships there, gave me like a short list of people to reach out to. It's really interesting because I had some previous informational interviews where I didn't even really like pitch the funding strategy because it didn't feel like the right fit. I was talking to this organization, very warm, friendly conversation, gave me the whole spectrum of like what their organization's about and what they do and their programs. And at the end, he was like, we could really use, and I don't know if this is like something you do or you know anybody, but like, we're really looking for somebody that can like go in and like scrape the database and like really figure out like what's out there. We don't know what's out there. And I was like, well, in fact, like I can do that. I feel like I kind of cheated. In that case, I was like, oh, wow, that was really easy. I was excited because I was like, they really need this.
When you're on the path of your purpose, the universe is always conspiring with you. What you just described was such a moment for me of like, oh my gosh, what a sign. Like it literally was like, hey, do you have a process of how to research grants in a database? And you're like, actually, yes, I have that exact process. Do you want the checklist? I have the checklist.
It's not that there aren't going to be like challenges, that it's not going to be hard. I think those little moments where you can go like, it doesn't have to be constant struggle. Side note, just to say that like, I come from an industry with a lot of rejection. So I'm very used to that. I don't take it personally. I don't really see it as there's rejection, I'm like, oh, like an organization has a need. And if I can't suit that need or fit that need, like I hope that they can find someone that does.
It is proven time and time again when we come in with who knows what might happen in this meeting, there are multiple doors and windows in that conversation versus coming in with a pinpoint, I have to pitch this funding strategy, that can often close off some doors and windows.
Not to be like woo-woo about it, but energetically you can kind of tell feeling of like I'm getting sold to and I don't want that. Then you naturally get to know what the organization's about, what their needs are. And I've like met so many cool organizations just by having these interviews. It's been really cool.
Obviously, they became a client. May I ask what you pitched as your funding strategy rate?
Yes, I pitched 2,000. Or like I knew the amount of work that I was going to be doing. After having a few of those under my belt, like I know I can definitely charge more.
How many funding strategies have you landed with clients?
I've done 2 funding strategies. And then the other one that I did was a little bit more what I'd call pro bono. A dear friend who's also like a super connector and wonderful. And she started an organization that she's not yet receive funding.
There are very good reasons to do things pro bono, and as long as you're intentional about that. My one rule is it can't be because I couldn't land paid work. Was there an Eileen of the past who did take it personally, and was there something that you did to become more comfortable with rejection?
Of course there was like a younger version of me. Honestly, I think it just comes with age. It's like age and therapy. Definitely a mind shift. There's a lot of different ways to do that, a gradual mind shift.
I think it's also because you continued to show up through the rejection. That's a consistent theme too, is just the picking yourself up back off the floor. Even if you end up on the floor, like it's okay to react to the rejection, but the people who have made it to the other side are the people who keep getting up.
Absolutely. I really do love like self-development. Of course, not going to be able to give credit where credit is due, but there was like some quote that I heard. It really resonated with me, which is like, what you think of me is really none of my business. If you're overly concerned about what the other person is, how they're perceiving you, or if they, think that you're charging too much or whatever it is, it doesn't really matter.
In the informational interview, it has everything going on with the person that you're interviewing. Very rarely is something personal on the interviewee.
Sometimes we have our own insecurities or we're going into an interview, we might start interpreting things that aren't really there. Like, what are we really doing here? We're just having a conversation, just seeing if there's a way that we can help each other out. And if there is, I think what you're doing is so cool. Like, best of luck to you.
The connections from all of these things are really, I think, where the magic happens. The importance of verbalizing it to the people in your life that will support you and connect you with others.
I even like just made a post on Insta. What organizations have you worked with that you really enjoyed? I've got a lot of responses. It's just like following up and saying like, that sounds like a really great organization. Like, who do you know that I can chat with?
I'm guessing your life is not just focused on grant writing. There has to be other elements going on in your life. What advice would you give to people to truly put those blinders on and stick to the plan?
Yes, I have 2 young children. I worked in development and television. I really like this idea, the deep work where you're like, put the phone down, you schedule it. That's the only way, because otherwise it's like, beep, beep, look at my phone. Oh, this other thing. 20 minutes of deep work is going to be more effective and efficient than an hour of like non-deep work, because you're like, oh, I did an hour, but how much did you really do? For me, scheduling is everything. I know for some people can feel like really restraining. They're like, oh, but I don't want to schedule my life. But when you have the schedule, then there's so much freedom, because you go like, this is when I'm doing this, and this is when I can do whatever I want, finding a way that's like you're really making good on that commitment.
Congratulations on getting a movie on Netflix.
Thank you. Yes, I have a film out on Netflix. It's called Mama Retreat. It's really beautiful about motherhood and how wonderful and terrifying it is. A horror comedy, essentially. I applied for a grant through a wonderful organization called NALI. They're the National Association of Latino Independent Producers. And they had a partnership with Netflix, and they gave 4 filmmakers 25 grand to make this film. And they loved the film so much that they put them on Netflix. So I'm so grateful.
The people in the collective are creating these tapestries of life that is so beautiful to be a part of. So thank you.
The collective itself has just been like super supportive. And I probably will use it like a little bit, but like use it a lot. It's been a great resource. Everyone's kind of harnessing different skill sets from different careers to bring into this new and exciting career. It's pretty cool.
What is your why?
I'm very committed to my career as a writer and filmmaker. And I wanted to find something that could really support that. When I have a downturn or time of unemployment, it'd be awesome. It's like a cherry on top if that way to make an income can be flexible and check the mark. Grew up in an activist household. This is a way that I could feel like in the spirit of activism, I like do good in the world.
In an industry that goes like this constantly, you can have maybe a more stable line. We were really impressed by the consistency and the enthusiasm and just the energy you showed up for your journey. And so thank you.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for all you do. Excited to be part of this great community.
Yay. Okay. See you for version 2.